أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ومن الناس من يقول آمنا بالله وباليوم الآخر وما هم بمؤمنين يخادعون الله والذين آمنوا وما يخدعون إلا أنفسهم وما يشعرون في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا ولهم عذاب أليم بما كانوا يكذبون. وإذا قيل لهم لا تفسدوا في الأرض قالوا إنما نحن مصلحون ألا إنهم هم المفسدون ولكن لا يشعرون. وإذا قيل لهم آمنوا كما آمن الناس قالوا أنؤمن كما آمن السفهاء ألا إنهم هم السفهاء ولكن لا يعلمون. وإذا لقوا الذين آمنوا قالوا آمنا وإذا خلوا إلى شياطينهم قالوا إنا معكم إنما نحن مستهزئون الله يستهزئ بهم ويمدهم في طغيانهم يعمهون. أولئك الذين اشتروا الضلالة بالهدى فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين. مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما أضاءت ما حوله ذهب الله بنورهم وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون. صم بكم عمي فهم لا يرجعون. أو كصيب من السماء فيه ظلمات ورعد وبرق يجعلون أصابعهم في آذانهم من الصواعق حذر الموت والله محيط بالكافرين. يكاد البرق يخطف أبصارهم كلما أضاء لهم مشوا فيه وإذا أظلم عليهم قاموا ولو شاء الله لذهب بسمعهم وأبصارهم إن الله على كل شيء قدير.
And among men there are some who say, we believe in Allah and in the last day, yet they are not believers. They try to deceive Allah and those who believe, while they are not deceiving anyone except themselves, although they are unaware of it. In their hearts there is a malady, so Allah has made them grow in their malady, and for them there is a grievous punishment, because they have been lying. When it is said to them, do not spread disorder on the earth, they say, we are but reformers. Beware, it is in fact they who spread disorder, but they do not appreciate. And when it is said to them, believe as people have believed, they say, shall we believe as the fools have believed? Beware, it is in fact they who are the fools, but they do not know. When they meet those who believe, they say, we have entered faith. But when they are alone with their Satans, they say, indeed, we are with you, we were only mocking. It is Allah who mocks at them and lets them go on wandering blindly in their rebellion. These are the people who have bought error at the price of guidance, so their trade has brought no gain, nor have they reached the right path. Their situation is like that of a man who kindles a fire, and when it illuminates everything around him, Allah takes away the lights and leaves them in layers of darkness so that they see nothing. Deaf, dumb, and blind, they shall not return. Or it is like a rainstorm from the sky, bringing darkness, thunder, and lightning. They thrust their fingers in their ears against the thunderclaps for fear of death, and Allah encompasses the disbelievers. The lightning almost snatches away their sight. Every time a flash gives them light, they walk by it, and when darkness falls upon them, they stand still. And if Allah had willed, He could have taken away their hearing and their sight. Indeed, Allah is powerful to do anything. In the previous video, covering Ayat 1 to 7, we saw two distinct groups: the believers guided by faith and light, and the disbelievers sealed in arrogance and blindness. Although only two ayats were dedicated to the disbelievers, a more detailed discussion on them appears in Makki surahs as compared to Madani ones. Ayat 8 to 20 now turns to a third group, the hypocrites, portrayed as the most dangerous of all. They outwardly claim faith but conceal disbelief within. These ayahs expose their inner world, their double faces, their motives, and the slow destruction they bring upon themselves. Ayah 8 introduces them among the people as those who say, "We believe in Allah and the last day," yet they do not truly believe. They present themselves as followers of guidance, but inwardly reject it. In Ayah 9, they assume they can deceive Allah and mislead the believers. In reality, the only ones they are truly misleading are themselves. What they consider clever schemes are nothing but self delusion. Nothing escapes Allah, the one who knows every secret. They continue unaware even as they quietly destroy themselves. Ayah 10 reveals the state of their hearts, corrupted by doubt, jealousy, and dishonesty. Instead of seeking purification, they allow this condition to grow, and so Allah increases it. This disease, in simpler terms, can be referred to as a weakness of character that erodes sincerity entirely. Because of their persistent falsehood and their endless pretending, a severe punishment awaits them in the life to come. In Ayah 11, when they are told not to spread disorder, they respond by claiming they are reformers. They blur the line between truth and falsehood, presenting harm as virtue. Their words may sound refined and reassuring, but their action weakens faith and spreads damage. This pattern is not unfamiliar. Even today, leaders of certain nations make loud claims of fixing everything and being reformers, while the reality tells a completely different story. Ayah 12 cuts through this claim. Allah declares them the true corruptors, though they fail to realize it. Their inability to recognize their own corruption is itself part of their blindness. In Ayah 13, when they are told to believe as others have believed, they respond with arrogance, calling the believers foolish. Their ridicule was directed at sincere individuals, people like Bilal ibn Rabah Raziallahu anhu, who endured torture yet remained firm to the declaration of Ahad Ahad, the oneness of Allah. To the hypocrites, such resilience looked like weakness, something to mock rather than admire. Allah exposes the truth that the real foolishness lies with them, even if they cannot see it. Ayah 14 exposes their double life. Among believers, they claim faith, but when they return to their inner circles with their leaders and allies in misguidance, they admit that they were only pretending, and then they start mocking the believers. Their entire existence becomes an act, professing belief in public while privately aligning themselves with betrayal. In Ayah 15, Allah allows them to continue in their defiance, leaving them to wander blindly. Their mockery does not harm others, it returns to them. What appears to be freedom is actually a test, giving them time to sink deeper until the consequences unfold. Ayah 16 describes them as those who traded guidance for misguidance. This is not a simple error, it is a conscious choice. It is not just that they were wrong, it is that they had access to clarity and still preferred what benefits them short term, like their ego, status, and comfort. So this trade fails on two levels. Morally, they betray the truth, and practically, they don't even achieve long lasting success. In plain terms, it is a warning about self-deception. When someone convinces themselves that a wrong path is worth it, even while knowing better, they're not just lost, they're actively choosing to stay lost. And that's why the Quran calls it a losing transaction. Ayahs 17 to 20 present two powerful similes that expose different states of hypocrisy. In Ayat 17, the example is of one who kindles a fire, gaining light, but then it is taken away. This represents those who were exposed to the truth but turned away from it, leaving themselves trapped in a darkness of their own making, blind and without direction. After that, Ayat 18 deepens this image: deaf, dumb, and blind. This is not a physical state, but a chosen disconnection from the very faculties needed to recognize the truth. They are cut off from understanding because they completely refuse to engage with what is already clearly in front of them. In Ayah 19, a second type is described: those who recognize the truth at times but remain held back by worldly concerns. They are like people caught in a violent storm, surrounded by darkness, thunder, and lightning. The storm represents divine warning and revelation, yet instead of benefiting from it, they react with fear and avoidance. They block their ears from the thunder, terrified of death. It reflects their inner instinct to resist the signs of divine punishment, even though Allah's power surrounds them completely. The rain descends like revelation from above, but instead of letting it nourish them, they turn away from it. In Ayah 20, the lightning briefly illuminates their path and they move forward. But when darkness returns, they stop. This reflects their instability, moments of clarity followed by hesitation and retreat. Allah reminds that He could take away their hearing and sight entirely, but instead gives them respite as a test. Indeed, Allah is capable of all things. Taken together, these similes are not merely poetic imagery. They are a precise psychological and spiritual diagnosis. They expose the consequences of turning away after the truth has become clear. And they remind us that the ability to see, hear, and respond to guidance itself is a mercy. In the next video, we shift from exposing hypocrisy to addressing all of humanity, calling them to worship Allah, reflect on His blessings, and show gratitude from Ayat 21 to 29. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or reflections, feel free to share them in the comments. I will respond where I can based on what is understood from the Quran and authentic Hadith.